Psalm 113. Praise Yahweh. Praise, O servants of Yahweh. Praise the name of Yahweh. Blessed be the name of Yahweh, from this time forth and forevermore. From the rising of the sun to its setting, the name of Yahweh is to be praised. Yahweh is high above all nations, and his glory above the heavens. Who is like Yahweh our God, who is seated on high, who looks far down on the heavens and the earth? He raises the poor from the dust and lifts the needy from the ash heap, to make them sit with the princes of his people. He gives the barren woman a home, making her the joyous mother of children. Praise Yahweh. This is almost an ecstatic song. I mean, if it wasn't written down in such orderly poetry, we would start thinking that this guy was just like spewing out whatever praise came into his mouth, right? Because, I mean, we don't know who the psalmist is here, but it's, just read those first two verses. It's almost like a voluntary, joyful lack of control, right? Like, praise Yahweh, praise, O servants of Yahweh, praise the name of Yahweh, blessed be the name of Yahweh, from this time forth and forevermore. He's just going for it, man. So why all this focus on the name of Yahweh? Well, a few weeks ago in our series in Exodus on Sunday mornings, we took a look at this name in Exodus 3 that God gave to Moses for him to be known by. And the name Yahweh is basically a tie to the verb in Hebrew for to be. It's some form of the be verb, but it's not any form that we have anywhere else. It's some kind of hint when you dig into it and you say, what's going on here? What is this form of the be verb? It basically leaves us with the conclusion, and I'm summarizing a lot here, it leaves us with the conclusion that he's the God who just claims to be, under all circumstances, in every way, without exception, without limitation. He just is, right? Which is why in John 8:58, Jesus can come along and claim to be God, and people understood what he was saying when he said, before Abraham was, I am. It's a statement of the eternal present. Right? Like I just am. Yesterday I am, today I am, tomorrow I am. There's no time that is outside of God because he himself is the existence within which time and matter and all these things consist, which is why Colossians 1 says that in him, God in the flesh and Jesus, in him all things hold together. So God just is. And when we call on his name, that's one of the elements that we're calling on there. And I don't know if that's the one that the psalmist had in mind here, but since I'm the one with the microphone in the devotional video, that's the one I'm choosing to bring out. It's there. I don't know, what other elements would have been going through his head, but the name of Yahweh is sure, like, it's just packed with all these significant. We could branch out in a lot of different directions. But just to pick that rabbit trail for a second, he is the God who is. He is the self-existent one. That's why in Exodus 3, to go back there, he is the fire that is burning inside of a tumbleweed, but the tumbleweed is not consumed. He uses nothing for fuel. His existence is supported by nothing. He is self-existent. And in Psalm 113 here, Psalm 113, the significance of that is that that's in contradistinction to everything else that is mentioned. And so God, the one who is, the one who's just self-existent, that can be said of him, that cannot be said of the sun from its rising to its setting. That cannot be said of any nation. All nations exist contingent upon something else, right? Their political realities, their borders being defended, whatever it is. Verse 5, who is like Yahweh our God, who is seated on high? Who looks far down on the heavens and the earth? Right? So Yahweh, the self-existent one, the God who is, as an eternal reality, the God who is, looks down on the heavens and the earth. They are not eternally self-existent, right? He looks down on all of his creation. He looks down on the princes. He looks down on the, down elevation-wise, not like down his nose, but he looks down at his creation because he's above it, at the barren woman, and makes her a joyous mother of children. So here's the last thing to bring out here. God is the self-existent one in distinction with all of his creation. Everything else is contingently existent. God is necessarily existent, to put it in philosophical terms. And he takes all of those attributes that he himself possesses and he leverages them for, here, the benefit of the lowest, the benefit of the most needy. I mean, you think about Psalm 8, right? What is man that you are mindful of him? Like Psalm 103, we're just dust. We're here today, gone tomorrow. We're just dust. And then there are people who are even in this group of, spasming dust beings called humans. There are those who are the lowest of that class because they're needy. They're without options. They're without power to fix their own situation. And God, this big, self-existent, eternally grand, on all sides of creation and effortlessly holding creation together himself, this big God named Yahweh takes all of those characteristics that he possesses and he applies them towards the benefit of the neediest. Look at verse 7. He raises the poor from the dust. He lifts up the needy from the ash heap. He makes them sit with princes, with the princes of his people. Verse 9, he gives the barren woman a home, meaning a household, a family, and he makes her the joyous mother of children. God has the ability to change our situation, to change our status. God has the ability to heal. God has the ability to provide. And he does all of these things by his own character and by his own goodness. In other words, if we believe Psalm 113, there's nobody we should trust and nobody we should look to other than Yahweh, God himself, for our needs to be met. So, acknowledge your need, bring them to God. That's where he meets you.